Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Below the Line, the show about how movies are made. My name is Andres Ramirez, and here we are yet another amazing week with my co host and good friend, Mr. Zach Houston Scott. How are you, man?
Hey, doing pretty good. It is Saturday night here. We're doing a pretty close to the call episode, but overall pretty good. No, long weekend is upon us here in Canada, and tomorrow, for those who don't know, is my birthday. I mean, when this episode launches, it will be my birthday, so it's a special little treat that we're doing an episode on it. And yeah, pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, it's been a good week. I think we made progress in our film with a very cool guy, Matt, BFX Progress. Besides that, how are you?
Doing pretty good, doing pretty good. Just working, same as always. Recovering still from a surgery that I had a couple weeks ago. Bit of a hospital scare, but nothing too terrible. Catching up on some movies this week. I watched two in particular on Netflix that I was a little intrigued. One was called Nona's. Have you heard of
Mm-hmm.
that one with Vince Vaughn?
No, but I'm curious to see what's the other one you're going to say.
The other one is pretty crazy. It's called On the Line. Yes, it's with one of the Hollywood ambassadors currently filming something, Mel Gibson. It's another Netflix film, kind of, sort of. I mean, they just picked up the distribution rights to it. But yeah, that was a very weird kind of movie. One that I did not expect to see where it was going, I'll say. So, yeah. Um,
Interesting. I thought you were
yeah.
going to say one that here in Mexico, at least, has been heavily advertised. One about a mom who is in a U.S. embassy or consulate trying to get a visa, and her son goes missing. I don't know. I thought you were going to say that one. I actually don't know the name of the movie. I've just seen the trailer every time I get interrupted in YouTube ads.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
but here it seems to be trending. I don't know if that's trending in Canada. I guess trending in Netflix is very different. Uh, I'm still rewatching Money Heist and been playing KDC a lot. KDC 2, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Really good game. And I'm going to start watching Andor, and I'm still watching The Last of Us, believe it or not. Um, I think the show is interesting, to say the least. I think maybe the ratings are falling. Pedro Pascal is coming back for the flashback episode. I'm curious to see if he's able to bring some of the ratings back, but I don't know. That show seems to be cursed to go the same pathway as the game.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Well, I mean, that is what it is. Another one I mean, before we get into today's topic, another movie that has been doing kind of dismal numbers and is like considered one of the worst or vain projects of the year so far is the Weekend's film, Hurry Up Tomorrow.
Which one?
Hurry Up Tomorrow.
I have not heard of this film.
Yeah, it's his album that came out earlier this year. It's basically the movie that makes up the album, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay. I think Miley Cyrus is also having a movie this year. Uh,
Is she?
but I mean, I don't know exactly what it is, but it is. I think it's the encore, like halfway screening of the of the Tribeca Film Festival in New York City. She has like a music video that it's a feature. I'm not really sure, but it seems like very experimental. So I guess now every songwriter is also a filmmaker. I guess Taylor Swift really started that trend.
Yeah, apparently. No, we're starting to get a lot more singers who want to be directors, but I mean, limited success. I mean, even Kristen Stewart at Cannes had a global premiere for her movie.
She's already a director.
Yeah, yep, she is. She directed a movie that premiered at Cannes this past week. The Chronology of Water, it's called.
In her defense, she's an actress. So, a lot of director actors tend to make that transition easily because they know how to be actors, so they can direct actors pretty well. Like, I think the best case scenario is Ben Affleck. Um,
Yeah, oh, 100%. And
he's
it
a
helps that
very good director because he understands actors and he also knows how to work with the camera very well.
it helps with her too that her mom was a script supervisor, so she probably picked up a lot of tips from behind the scenes from her and just who she's worked with. So, no, I mean,
She
her,
has a
Ben Affleck.
very interesting experience, from Twilight to what's was it Jackie? No, she didn't play Jackie for the one that she got nominated. Uh, it was a Queen of England,
You mean
or
Diana Spencer?
yeah, Spencer.
Spencer?
Yeah, Spencer. Is that same director made Jackie, Spencer, and the one that came out Maria last year's with Angelina Jolie. He calls that trilogy of films about important women from that period of time.
Mm-hmm.
So he has made like essentially the same film three times, but focusing on three different people.
I mean, hey, if Oliver Stone can make different movies about presidents, what's wrong with this guy making movies about princesses and queens and everything?
No, nothing wrong. They just got kind of mixed in my head because Jackie is Natalie Portman. No, she didn't win the Oscar, but was nominated. Then Spencer was with Kristen Stewart, and Maria was with Angelina Jolie. But tonally and stylistically, they're very similar. That's
Yeah,
all.
and Angelina Jolie didn't get nominated for an Oscar for Maria. So
Her performance was great. It was the best part of the movie, but in itself, it was pretty boring.
yeah, that's yeah. Even though it won the Golden Lion.
I mean, festivals are festivals, right?
Sure. But yeah, let's get
We
right into today's. We just got back from seeing the newest installment of a long dormant series, Final Destination Bloodlines, the sixth one, if you can believe it. Yeah, going into it first, before we talk about the movie, what are your thoughts on the series in general?
Well, when was the first movie released?
If you can believe it, 2025 years ago.
I was gonna say 1999, but yeah, it's 2000, right?
No.
Um, I don't know. I really liked them growing up because I think they were like that morbid. At least there were R-rated movies that my parents didn't let me see, so they had like a morbid, like I need to see this because it's super bloody type of. Um, they were appealing to me because of that reason. But once you've seen it, I think the movies are really dumb when it comes to plot. It's just they have very creative deaths. However, I think the last movie before this one came out 2011, right? I
Yep.
think there's been so many movies that have tried to do similar things to the franchise that I don't know if they have an identity per se, if you know what I
Okay.
mean. Like
No. I
just
see.
this year, Monkey, the Stephen King adaptation came out, similar themes. A lot of Blumhouse movies are similar in that style, like Happy Death Day. You know,
Oh, yes.
the protagonist dies and dies and dies. Like, I don't know, I sort of feel since the franchise originated, there's been so many other franchises that have tried to do the same thing with death itself that I don't know where the franchise belongs today. It's funny because I was looking at the tagline and I kind of came up with like the tagline is no accidents, no coincidence, no escapes. You can cheat death, and I'm like, well, you can cheat a reboot because this one feels very weird because it sort of feels like a reboot, but it also feels like a continuation and also like maybe the final movie. I'm not sure, but I'm not super attached to the franchise. I actually don't know the lore as much. So, it was a franchise. We need another film. Probably not, but here it is, and it's making
Well,
money.
It's funny
Uh,
funny you mentioned that. I'm kind of the opposite, as I've been waiting a long time for another installment. Yeah, I love it. I think this is such a clever, fun franchise that knows exactly what its fan base is, especially when you reveal its origins. Like, it came from a X-Files spec script that got expanded into a feature film because they
really?
thought it was, oh yeah, it was like a bunch of alumni, like the original director of the first movie, James Wong. He wrote on X Files, and they had producers from X Files come and do it. So, I mean, just the perfect blend of that mixture of horror and, kind of thriller science fiction thing. I will say, though, the original movie does not, in my opinion, hold up the best compared to its sequels. I'm actually a firm believer that each installment got better up to a point, because the fourth one is just the worst one in my opinion. Like, it tried the
That's the one
least
with the
and the
roller
most.
coaster, right?
No, that's the third one. That one
Oh,
with Mary Elizabeth Winstead. That one is a pretty good one. With fun fact: all these movies are filmed in Vancouver, so that was done at Playland. Even this new one, I unfortunately we tried to get a couple people onto the show to discuss their experiences, but they turned us down just because of where everyone was at. But no, there was a lot of Vancouver representation on this show, and I will say it was really cool to just see all their hard work on the screen just before we talk more about it. But yeah, no, I think if I were to rank them, I think the sixth one does rank really high for me. Like, I think this and two were the pinnacle of the franchise. I think, I mean, let's be honest, when you're on a road now, man, do you ever, like, just whenever you're in front behind a log truck, do you ever just want to turn out of the way because you don't want one of those logs coming at you?
I mean, I'm not so much in highway, but I know the stigma because of that movie. I think I'm more terrified of how they portray planes, but that was the first one, right? The plane sequence, but
That
also
was
the last one, right? Because they
kind
kind of
of,
tie it all together, right? It's been a while since I've seen the originals.
yes, the first one was a pre 9/11. That's why it was called Final Destination, since, your plane is making its final destination. And, pre 9/11, that, type of airport we're probably never going to see again. It is wild to see all that, just people waiting, like, as the plane is taking off. You can't do that anymore. That's just wild to me. Um,
Well, if you
there's
want to go
also,
crazy in airplanes,
yeah.
Die Hard, he has a weapon on board.
That's true. No, different times we live in. But no, the first one I don't think is as good as I think the sequels. The second one is, to me, either the best or second best, just because I think the characters were a little more defined. It had more fun with its premise. Like, even that opening is just still holds up incredibly well. The third one with the roller coaster, I mean, that probably had the scariest death of the whole series with the tanning booth. And I mean,
Oh,
just some of the other, like the gym scene and the fireworks and stuff. Oh, it was wild. The fourth one is the worst because it just feels the cheapest, and it was just trying to cash
like a
in
cash
on
grab.
the, yeah, it was just trying to be the 3D, like, the Friday
Oh
the
yeah,
13th part 3, or the Freddy's uh, Dead the final chapter in 3D style. And then the fifth one, I really appreciated the ending, and I did also like how it did try to take itself a little more serious and offer that twist with it being connected to the first one, and in a sense killing off all its characters, which is kind of what, not to spoil anything, this one by the movie's end does do. So, yeah, no, overall, what did you think of this one?
I thought it was a fun time at the movie theater. Like it's not like I guess for me the thing I did wrong was read reviews because people are praising it. It has like a 90 something in Rotten Tomatoes, right? And
Yeah,
it's produced by John Watts, who made the Spider-Man films.
you also
Although
conceived the story for it too. That's pretty cool.
although he's a horror guy because before he did Spider-Man, he did horror. So, I was excited, but I'm not saying I was disappointed. I was like, okay, it is another gory horror film. It's a fun time at the theater, but Nothing too serious, nothing too crazy. I had fun. I would probably give it like a 6.5 or 7 out of 10. It's right there in the middle. The popcorn helped to make it fun. And, I had a few issues with the plot, but again, I think it's because I'm not as connected to the lore of the franchise. And I also thought they left the franchise in a very weird state. Like, I don't know if they were confident enough to make money back, if you know what I mean.
No, I get you, especially with how long this one took. But I think there are still ways for this franchise to continue if they choose to, especially because, I mean, this is the first time in the series, I'm not sure if you know this, where each character is connected. Like, this isn't something like, oh, they just appeared to be strangers who are in the same area. No, these people, like, are a family now. And I
Well,
really
their
appreciate
bloodline.
that. Yeah, it's their bloodline. And when they die this time, yeah, it's fun, but that's really sad. There is a little bit more of an emotional attachment this time that honestly, since the second one, we haven't really had. Like that one killed off like a younger kid, like a 12-year-old, and it had a pregnant woman in danger. Like that movie had balls for what it's worth. The others are just, young adults or teenagers who just get themselves in this scenario that, yeah, they're kind of connected because either they're friends or strangers or whatever. But this is the first time where you actually do feel bad. Like when a cousin dies or when a brother or sister are killed all of a
Yeah,
sudden, you're like,
yeah, yeah.
oh, that really sucks. But I mean, props to the stunt team too for this. Like some of these kills are probably the most creative I've seen in a while. Even as much as like the fifth one with the gymnastics and the LASIK scene, like that opening at the Space Needle or whatever they end up calling it is pretty fantastic. And even like they gave some of the
Yeah.
traps away from the trailers, like the tattoo parlor, just wicked. Like the fun that it has and how these people could get killed or that they're trying to show you, oh, it could be this, it could be that. I was having fun guessing. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, how would you rate it?
Oh, I'd give it an 8. No, enjoyment factor. I loved it. Like I said, I needed time to settle because I can't say if this is my favorite because we'll have to see its lasting power. Because I mean, I remember a lot from two. I remember a lot from three. I even remember a lot from the fifth movie that came out not too long ago. But this one we'll see because I do get your point in that even if you weren't attached to this franchise, you might not have the nostalgia like I have for those earlier movies that this one might not come to afterwards. So, yeah.
Well, the thing about nostalgia, and I think it could be good for us to talk spoilers, is I don't know if it was also nostalgic on how it was made, because you mentioned the opening, which is the Space Needle sequence. I thought that sequence looked horrible. Like, the CGI looked super faked. That I just couldn't believe that what was happening on the screen was real, because it just looked too fake. Especially when they're outside and something happens and there's this penny, and it's like it just looks not believable. I could tell that they were not in Seattle, if that makes
Oh, of
sense.
course. It was obviously Vancouver.
Well, even so, it was Vancouver, but it was like North Vancouver type of Vancouver. It was pretty suburban Vancouver. Like, they didn't shoot this around downtown at all, I think.
No, it was across the country lines a little bit. Like some of it was downtown, but not all of it.
Maybe the parlor sequence. But not that type of parlor. I mean the
No,
tattoo
no, no.
parlor. Oh man, we just got in trouble. Hopefully YouTube doesn't get angry.
No, I'm sure they'll be fine. I mean, we're pretty calm. We're not showing any violent imagery.
Mm, yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I think it's a fun movie. I'm glad people are liking it and going to the movie theaters. That's cool. I just think is next week is going to have a lot of competition with MI and Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, which I mean, MI already got its reviews. It seems to be mostly positive. A little bit leaning towards bloated though, compared to the earlier installments. But I think it's kind
I'm
of
seeing
earned
it
it. Being...
tomorrow.
Oh, you're seeing it tomorrow.
Yeah, they have pre-screenings here, so I'm seeing it tomorrow. But
Nice.
Yeah, I'm also trying to go with expectations of, the first part was disappointing. Like, it's not Fallout or the one that was directed by Brad Bird, where
Ghost
he,
Protocol?
yeah, like to me, this just feels like he had the contract. He needed to finish these movies, but I also don't think it's going to be the last time he's playing this character.
No, definitely not. Even all the critics said the same thing. Like he's been doing this for how long? And I mean, he is pretty much the same character in all his movies. And at 62, I don't think that's going to stop him or slow him down or
Yeah,
anything.
I think it's a final for maybe in a couple of years, but I'm sure they'll make something.
Yeah. One thing I will, just going back to Final Destination quickly, is I did like how they handled the last scene with Tony in the
Ooh,
film.
may he
Because,
rest
I
in
mean,
peace.
yes, this is a guy who has been a pretty mainstay actor for a long time. Like, I'd known him from Candyman, and he was also in the recent Spider Man game as Venom, and he even
In the
played
Indiana Jones
Darkseid.
game too.
Yes, he was in the Indiana Jones game. So, rest in peace to this talent, because, man, he was such a really good actor that will be so, so missed.
Just to reiterate on that, I mean, in many ways, he is very iconic. He's as iconic as James Earl Jones because he is Candyman.
Yeah.
The horror genre, at least, he's very iconic in the creation of Candyman and the mythos, the presence, and why that film is very effective.
No,
But
it's super effective in that way.
yeah, I like that scene. Although to me, I just didn't remember that he had a major role in the franchise, so I was like, I'm missing something.
He
Uh,
had a major presence, I will say. It wasn't that he had a like major role in the show, but his presence when he did show up in his scenes was always big.
so, do you want to talk spoilers?
I mean, the movie just came out, but yeah.
Wait, wait, wait,
Oh,
wait,
okay,
wait,
sorry.
wait. So, folks, you know what we think. Before we start the spoiler discussion, I'm gonna do something embarrassing, but I think it's granted because it's Zach's birthday. So, Zach, happy birthday! This is me singing "Happy Birthday to you, Happy Birthday to you, Happy Birthday, dear Zach, Happy Birthday to you." Cheers to you, man, and a pleasure doing this podcast. Too many years, too many adventures, and happy birthday! And yeah, please wish him a happy birthday. And now we're gonna talk spoilers.
Well, thank you. Now, before I graciously interrupted, yeah, no, everybody dies at the end. So, I mean, other people, I can kind of see like other families being, stories told from that tower, if that makes sense, as like potential future plot lines. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, we'll kind of honestly, the main topic are the deaths. That's how creative they are, what kind of
Okay.
effects are being presented, and generally the fun factor. The barbecue, that was a lot of fun. The tattoo parlor, that was a lot of fun. The cabin stuff, that was a lot of fun. Just the build up and the way the camera moves and like a Chekhov's gun just kind of predicts what's going to happen next. To me, that is the stuff the fans get into, myself included, and that's why we keep coming back to these movies. Even like a sudden one, like, a vending machine crashing down on someone's head. Is it easy? Heck yeah, but it works so well because it's
Oh
effective
yeah,
and you
the
don't see
vending
it
machine one was fun. Which
coming.
one was your favorite then?
Again, just I don't really have a fate. Like that opening was pretty like good way to start things up. If I'm being honest,
It's a good reminder of what the franchise is.
yeah. So I don't know. I don't really have a favorite. They're all just kind of like in a good way. They blend together, but that's the fun of these movies is you can just pick one and you can see why they like this one, and it's the build up and just seeing what happens next.
For me, it was the trash can one.
The trash can.
Yeah, the one where the kids are playing soccer on the street and the girl gets kicked by the soccer ball and she falls in the trash can and the trash garbage truck comes and she dies in the compactor. That was so funny because it just happens in like a wide shot. You're like, oh, no way this can happen. And it just happens perfectly.
Yeah.
It's Julia, one of her cousins, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's her.
Yeah, that was such a fun death because it kind of came out of nowhere.
No,
But
I really like the Iris character, honestly, at the beginning. I was sad to see her pass away because, I mean, that kind of kicks off this whole event, really.
well, it's so funny because she steps outside of her house, she's like super paranoid, and she's like, step away, and it's like something just randomly falls behind her. It was kind of comedic at some point, but it was fun. I won't
Yeah.
lie. I think the issue that the reason I say I don't know why the franchise has a future or not. Maybe I read it differently, but I thought that because the whole premise is Iris saves these people because she has a premonition, right? Like
Hmm.
other Final Destination films, and these families go out and make their families like their children, grandchildren. So what I understood was that all those people that died in the first six movies or whatever were the other people in that family, in that building. Did you also got that or not?
No, no, I didn't actually. Huh.
Because there's like that shot where she's panning everything in the wall and you have like 1990s, 2000. So I thought, and she says that the reason it's taking forever is because Dead was taking care of all the other families and they were the last ones. So I was not sure if that was their way of connecting the other films or if I read them completely different.
No, no, I think you're right. Honestly, even me, I didn't really catch that.
Because I was like, okay, so that's how they're connecting it. But this seems like the final destination. But
Eh,
I'm not sure.
again, we'll just have to wait and see. There'll probably be more. Now,
Because she saves that kid, right? And that kid is
yeah,
supposed to be the doctor, right? That it's
yeah,
in the other movies. So to me, that
William
felt like,
Bloodworth.
yeah, that was the connection, but I was not sure. I guess I didn't realize all the films take place in Seattle as well.
Yeah. Well, Seattle, I mean, Vancouver pretending to be Seattle.
Well, like any other film. I mean, my
Just like
favorite Vancouver experience was when they were shooting Twilight. No, not Twilight. 50 Shades
50
of
Shades of
Grey,
Grey.
and he's supposed to go from Seattle to Portland, and they just shoot like 1 block away is Portland, 1 block away is Seattle. It's just hilarious how they're like, yeah, we just have to point the camera the other way, and we'll say it's Portland, but they're really in the same place. But magic, the magic of cinema.
Yeah.
Uh, so what other aspects did you like of the movie?
Um, no, I like the way it looked. This is definitely like the most colorful of the movies, if that makes sense. Like the lighting really pops in a lot of areas, and just, I mean, even the splatter. Because I know the movies are very gray in their color palette, except the third one. So I mean, it was just kind of nice to see a little bit more, brighter brightness come out, especially like during the daytime.
Uh huh.
Uh, I did like the performances quite a bit. There were a lot of Vancouver local actors too. I think I'm looking up this one person, Caitlin Santa Juana. She's from Langley, actually.
She's the protagonist.
Yeah, she
Mm.
plays Stephanie.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really it. I kind of just wanted to talk about the franchise a little bit because I got excited that there was a new one coming, and just, yeah, excited to see it come back. And hopefully, I mean, a part of me does want to see more of these, but I mean, we'll see. It depends on how well Warner and New Line decide they want to keep carrying it forward.
What other horror franchises Warner has a hold of?
Nightmare Before Elm Street.
What if they mix Nightmare on Elm Street with Final Destination?
That would be great. That would be fantastic.
I mean, it's probably somewhere in a pitch. Like, I don't know. I think it's hard to bring these franchises back, but I mean, to their credit, it seems like people are loving this one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm sure it's going to make a lot of money on digital platforms and everything.
Yeah. They
So
also, oh, speaking of that, they also have Evil Dead from other side.
oh, Sam Raimi, right?
There's a new one coming, so hopefully it's pretty good.
Well, is this a sequel to the last Evil Dead?
Yeah, yeah, from Evil Dead Rise to Evil Dead Burn. Speaking of that, that's the first movie I had to winch in a while. Like, I did not like.
Oh, that
I mean,
one
I
is
like
so
watching it,
good.
but it was good, but it was so brutal. Just what happened to those like children and ugh, yeah,
Well, it's the one in the apartment, right, where
yeah.
they're being chased by the mom who is infected, and it's such a good movie because it's so well confined. And I watched the trailer today from the Barbarian director. That movie looks really good. We were talking about it last week, but it
Oh
looks
yeah.
pretty good. It looks fantastic.
No, I'm excited for it. It's going to be fantastic. Zach
Yeah.
Krager. Hopefully, you live up to it, man. I want to see. I want to see this. I want to see weapons.
Well, it seems like it's going to be a fun movie. Like the trailer is very well cut. Oh, before we wrap, I guess I have to ask you, what
Yep.
were your thoughts on the Superman trailer?
Ooh, yeah. No, that got me very excited. Very excited to see more of what to expect. More characters. The effects look really good. More of the tone is present. Yeah, I don't want to say it's really. I have all obviously high hopes for it, but I want to keep my expectations in check. But I am really impressed with the actress Rachel Bronzad, Miss
Well, she's
Maisel as
great.
Lois
She's
Lane.
great.
She's fantastic. I might actually like this character for once if she's going to be playing her going forward.
I I had a weird tone with how they started the trailer. Like I thought it was pretty weirdly cut
Yeah.
because I didn't like how I sort of wish they started with his dad saying, you know, this is why you do stuff, so we get a sense of his morality, and then come with the interview that she's doing on that one, because that sort of felt like Superman was not yet identified. But is it me, or is he taking so much a little bit of Snyder? Like some of the ideas are very Snyder-esque.
Now, let's not get the Snyder cults in our comments. I mean, I like those movies a lot. Or, I mean, two of them. I mean, kind of
Three.
one and a half with the director's cut. But, I mean, I don't know. Just obviously, Superman has to take inspiration from others. So,
I mean, he can still bring back Henry Cavill. There is that multiverse story. They can always make multiverse of madness again. No, that's wait. That's that's
no,
that.
they could always make another Flash.
Yeah, Flash. What's the name of that movie? Flashpoint.
Yeah, the Flashpoint
Yeah,
paradox.
they can always remake it. Although I would bring the Flash from the CW back. He was such a great Flash.
Yeah, no, definitely. Grant Gustin, he was.
I don't know. Give him a chance in the big screen. Give him the budget he deserves. Because the first season is actually really good. Uh, but hey, summer season is kicking in. Should we tell what are we covering next week so people are excited?
Probably Mission Impossible and Lilo and Stitch, just to get people more excited. You're going to be seeing a lot more coverage of that from cons, from just overall how state of the industry is going. And yeah, you'll be the first to hear it from us if you wait for us on our releases come Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, Sunday is a good day to release. Hey, we're competing against The Last of Us, I suppose. But really happy that summer is kicking in. A lot of good movies. It kind of
Mm-hmm.
overwhelming summer, to be honest. But How to Train Your Dragon is in the horizon. Lots of movies coming in the next couple of weeks. But Mission Impossible, that's gonna be good. And will Stitch live up to the hype?
I mean,
So,
if early screenings from today, I mean, for Saturday are telling us, yes, apparently it is really good.
so just last thought: who takes the cake next week? Mission or Lilo?
I think Lilo and Stitch.
Oof. I think it's gonna be tight, but I hope they both are a tie, so it's better for theaters.
Hmm.
But yeah, those were our thoughts in Final Destination. Anything you want to add?
Nope. Just thanks for joining us again. He's Andres Ramirez. I'm Zach Houston. You can follow us on our socials. You can follow us at Below the Line 2025. And yeah, we will catch you all next week. You have yourself a wonderful day, morning, or night, wherever you're watching it,
And week.
and week.
And remember, spam in the comments. Happy birthday, Zach. Happy birthday, Zach. Make him feel the most love he can feel in his birthday. Is it
Well, thank you.
29?
28.
Oh, 28. We're getting there. We're getting older, man.
Yeah.
But it's great. You have an amazing 28, and yeah, at least we have the movies to keep us company.
No, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And yeah, one last thing, go watch movies, go watch Final Destination Bloodlines. One last thing I wanted to say, it's not that scary, right, Zach?
No, oh god, no. You'll have fun. You'll be laughing and cheering more.
Like, there's no jump scares, it's much more comedic,
It's like a
actually.
roller coaster, really.
Yeah,
Just kind of enjoy for the ride. Like you know it's coming, and then when it falls, it's the thrill of seeing it unfold.
yep. And have a great week. And thank you, guys.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye, Zach. See you next week.
See you
Happy
next week.
birthday.
Thank you.